Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to our lecturer, Dr. Muhammad Kari bin Cik Ella. So, today we want to present for group presentation, which is crop science for subject crop science AGR499. So, our topic is plant morphology. So firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Raja Muhammad Faiz bin Raja Bazaid. Student ID is 2025-973-543. Okay. Okay, we're going to first slide. This is for the definition of plant morphology. So, what is plant morphology? The definition of plant morphology is the study of the external structure and physical form of plant. So, it's focused on how different parts of a plant, such as root, stems, leaf, flower, fruit, and seeds. So, it's focused on how these plants parts are shaped and arranged. It also examines how they function in relation to the plant's growth, reproduction, and interaction with the environment. So basically, the plant morphology is a study of the external structure and physical of plant. So this is for outside or structure of the plant. Okay, so why is the plant morphology is important? Firstly, it's a plant is for plant identification and classification. It helps distinguish and categorize plant species based on form and structure. Secondly, understanding plant function. So from morphology, we can reveal how the shape of leaves, stems, and roots affects processes like photosynthesis, support, and nutrient absorption. Lastly is for agricultural application. So from morphology, we can assist farmers and breeders in selecting plants with desirable traits. Example for the resistant and to get the better yield. One of the components in plant morphology is root. So I will explain about roots. My fellow members will explain about the stem, leaf, fruits, flowers, and seeds. So first component is root. So root is the underground part of a plant that anchors it firmly in the soil and absorbs water and minerals from the ground. So it's one of the main organs of plant along with the stem and leaf. So this is the picture of the root. Okay, so we have five functions of root. Firstly, it's for anchorage. It holds the plants securely in place in the soil. For secondly, is absorption. So the roots takes in water, essential nutrients from the soil. And third is roots for storage. It stores food and nutrients. The fourth is conduction. It's transport, absorb water and minerals to the stem. And lastly is for vegetative reproduction because some roots can grow into new plants. Okay, as we can see here, this is a type of root system. We have three type root of system. So firstly is taproot. The example is carrot. So it's a single and large main root. This is characteristic for dicot. And secondly is fibrous root. For example of the fibrous root is grass. This is many thin and branching roots. So this characteristic of monocot. So lastly is lastly, we have adventitious roots. So these roots that grow from other parts like stem or leaf. So the example is orchid plant. So next, this is root region. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. So this is root region. We have five region of the root. So we can see here, first is root cap. It protects the tip of the root as it grows through soil. And then root hair zone, region with fine extension root hairs. This is a zone that absorb water and nutrients. Thirdly is elongation zone. This is the area where cells elongate to push root deeper into the soil. And then we have maturation zone. Cells differentiate into various tissue, xylem and phloem. And lastly is cell division zone, also known as a meristematic zone. It's located at the tip of roots and shoots where cells actively divide. Okay, next, this is root anatomy. We have many root anatomy. Example is epidermis, root hair, endodermis, vascular cambium, and many more. So we also have part of taproot. We have primary root, secondary root, tertiary root, and quaternary root. So the other name of quaternary root is rootlets. So for your information, the most active root for absorb the nutrient or absorb fertilizer is at the part of quaternary root. Okay, lastly for the root, we have root modification. So we have root for storage root, function is store food. Example, sweet potato and beetroot. We can see the picture here. And then prop roots for support heavy plants. Example, banyan tree. And then area roots hang in air for support and absorption. Example is orchid. And then pneumatoporous. So it's aid in respiration, mangrove trees. So the pneumatoporous is happen because exchange with the atmosphere. So it's modification from the condition. And then lastly we have climbing roots is help climbing. So the example is black pepper. Okay, that's all for roots. So next my fellow members will explain about the stem. Thank you. Okay, next, this is root anatomy. We have many root anatomy. Example is epidermis, root hair, endodermis, vascular cambium, and many more. So we also have part of taproot. We have primary root, secondary root, tertiary root, and quaternary root. So the other name of quaternary root is rootlets. So for your information, the most active root for absorb the nutrient or absorb fertilizer is at the part of quaternary root. Okay, lastly for the root, we have root modification. So we have root for storage root, function is store food. Example, sweet potato and beetroot. We can see the picture here. And then prop roots for support heavy plants. Example, banyan tree. And then area roots hang in air for support and absorption. Example is orchid. And then pneumatoporous. So it's aid in respiration, mangrove trees. So the pneumatoporous is happen because exchange with the atmosphere. So it's modification from the condition. And then lastly we have climbing roots is help climbing. So the example is black pepper. Okay, that's all for roots. So next my fellow members will explain about the stem. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amirul Syawal bin Syaruddin. Student ID 2025 565011. Okay, firstly, I would like to thanks to Encik Raja Faiz for the introduction and the presentation about plant morphology. Okay, next I will tell about stem. Firstly, stem is the main above ground part of the plant that support leaf, flowers, and fruits. It connects the roots to the rest of the plant and acts as transport system for water, nutrient, and food. So basically, stem is the hardest part of each plant. So these are five function of stem. First is for support, whole leaf and flowers apply the sunlight and pollination. Secondly is transport, move water and minerals from xylem, and also the food from phloem. Thirdly, for storage, some stem store food and water, such as sugarcane and cactus. Four is for photosynthesis, process which plant use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create oxygen and energy in the form of sugar. Lastly, vegetative reproduction. Some stems can grow into new plants, such as potato. Next, we go to stem morphology. So, as you can see, this part of stem, including petiole, internodes, nodes, axil, axillary bud, leaf, and stem. Next, we go to stem anatomy. Okay, these are the difference between monocot and dicot stem. The vascular bundle. For monocot stem, it's scattered throughout the ground tissue. Meanwhile, dicot stem arranged in ring. Also, the hypodermis for monocot stem usually made of sclerenchyma. And for dicot stem usually made of collenchyma. For example, monocot stem are grass, maize, and bamboo. For dicot stem, the example of plant which is sunflower, hibiscus, and mango. Okay, next we move on to stem modification. We have three for stem. First is underground stem modification. It helps in food storage and vegetative reproduction. First is tuber. The function is store foods and grows new shoot via buds, such as potato, as we can see at the picture. They grow the new part into the potato. Secondly, rhizome stores nutrient and spread horizontally, such as ginger and turmeric. Next, bulb store food in fleshy leaf and stem, such as onion and garlic. And lastly, for the underground stem modification, we have comb store food and herbs in regrowth, such as yam. For second stem modification, we have aerial stem modification. It exists in climbing, protection, and photosynthesis. We have three parts. Firstly is tendril, help in plant climb and get sunlight, such as grape. We can look in this picture, we have the spinning part of the stem, that's called tendril. Secondly, thorn, it protects the plant from herbivores, such as bougainvillea, or roses. At the stem, they have sharp part, which is thorn, that help from the attack of animal. Next, we have phylloclade. It performs photosynthesis in place of leaves, such as cactus and euphorbia. Lastly, for stem modification, sub-aerial stem modification, it helps in vegetative propagation and spreading. We have four types. Firstly, runner, spread horizontally to form new plants, such as strawberry. This part from stem, they will go horizontally to spread the new plant. Second, we have stolon, produce new plant through the side shoot, such as mint. Thirdly, sucker develops new shoots from the base, such as banana, chrysanthemum. It will grow the new plant and it called sucker. Lastly, outside produce new plant and quickly in water or soil, such as water hiking. So the shape of the stem like a yam, but that's not a fruit. It was a stem that will produce the new plant. Okay, next we go to leaf. Leaf is flattened, green lateral structure attached to the stem or branch of the plant. It is the main site for photosynthesis, where the plant converts sunlight into food. So the function of leaf, we have four. First is for photosynthesis, produce food or glucose using sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. Secondly, for transpiration, release excess water as vapor through tiny openings called stomata. Thirdly, gas exchange, allow oxygen and carbon dioxide to move in and out during respiration and photosynthesis. Lastly, for storage, some leaves store water or food, such as onion leaves and aloe vera. Next, for leaf structure, we have axil, stem, petiole, or we call stalk, vein, midrib, leaf margin, apex. For vein, midrib, leaf margin, and apex, we call as leaf blade or lamina. Next, we go to leaf morphology. First, we have venation. We have three parts, which is pinnate, parallel, and palmate. For shape, we have several examples. This is linear, obovate, ovate, pinnately lobed, palmately lobed, reniform, lanceolate, and sagittate. So each shape bring different type for vein, also in shape. For arrangement, we have simple, palmately compound, pinnately compound, and bipinnately compound. For margin, we have entire, crenate, dentate, serrate, and lobed. For arrangement of the stem, we have alternate, opposite, and whorl. For this type, we usually found a form of leaf. So the arrangement will be, for alternate, it will be one by one. For opposite, we have two part of leaf for each stem. Also, whorl is the leaf surround the stem like the in the circle shape. So next we go to the morphology. We have bundle set. This is the xylem and floatworm for food and water. Also the stoma, adhesial epidermis. Next we go to leaf modification. We have four types, which is bracts. The function of bracts is protection from herbivores and reduction of water loss in arid environment, such as cactus. So these bracts are usually found at the desert area or the area that always in hot situation or temperatures. Next, we have tendrils. Help the plant to climb and support itself by twining around objects such as pea plant. So this usually we can see at the vegetable such as cucumber, the leaf will climb around the over the long, so it will find the sunlight. So next, succulent leaf stores water to survive in dry condition, such as aloe vera. Also, the lastly, insectivorous leaf. It traps and digests insect to supplement nutrients, especially nitrogen, such as Venus flytrap. These three that will eat the insect and it will supply nutrient for the plant. So that's all for stem and leaf. Next, I will pass to my other team member to share about flowers, fruit, and seed.
Muhammad Syakir bin Harin Nazri. My student ID is 2025 789 599. Today, I would like to present about the flower morphology. The definition of flower is the reproductive structure of flowering plants, angiosperms that contains the organs for the sexual reproduction, including stamens and carpels, and is often lightly colored to attract pollinators. The function of the flower is first for reproduction. It produces pollen and gametes. Second, pollination. This helps transfer pollen from the male part, that means enter, to the female part of the flower, stigma. Third, fertilization. After pollination, sperm cells from pollen travel to the ovule and fertilization occurs. This results in the formation of a zygote. Fourth, seed and fruit formation. Once fertilized, the ovule develops into a seed, and the ovary often becomes a fruit that protects the seed. Okay, the figure shows parts of a flower. First is ovary, second is style, third is stigma, fourth is pistil, fifth is anther, sixth is filament, seven stamen, eight petal, nine sepal, 10 ovule, and 11th receptacle. Okay, there are two types of flower. perfect and imperfect. Perfect flower, it has the stamen and the pistil in the same flower, and imperfect flower has the male sex organs or the female sex organs, but not both on the same flower. Okay, as we know, function of flower is pollination. So the definition of pollination is the biological process by which pollen grains from the anther are transferred to the stigma. It's also a process of transfer the pollen grains from the anther of one flower to the stigma of the same plants or another flower of the same species. Okay, there are two types of pollination: self-pollination and cross-pollination. For self-pollination, we have orthogamy and geitonogamy. Orthogamy means pollen transfer within one flower, when geitonogamy means pollen transfer between flowers of one plant individual. For cross-pollinations, the process called xenogamy happens when it's pollinator as the agent. Pollinator means an agent such as insect, bird, band, or even wind or water that transfer pollens from the male parts of a flower to the female parts, helping in the pollination process that leads to fertilization and seed formation. These are the example of pollinator. The common one is bees, butterfly, and birds. Not so popular one, bats, beetles, and small insect.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone and my lecturer, Dr. Kerry. Today I want to present about fruit and seeds. First, what is a fruit? A fruit is the matured or ripened ovary of a flower. Buah datang daripada bunga yang matang. Bunga yang matang usually containing seeds. Biasaannya buah ada setengah seeds in the fruit. Ada seed outside of fruit. Ada tiga jenis, three types of fruit. First, aggregate fruits. Second, multiple fruits. And the last, fast fruit or accessory fruit. Okay, aggregate fruits that form a single flower with multiple ovaries, each of which develop into a separate fruits. Each ovary in the flower produce a seeds, and as they develop together, they form a large single fruit. This fruit often appear complex with multiple distinct segments or eyes on their surface. Next, multiple fruit. Multiple fruit are fruit that develop from the fusion of several flowers, each with its own ovary. These flowers are closely clustered together on a single stalk, and the individual fruits of each flower merge to form a large composite fruits. Unlike aggregate fruit, multiple fruit are the result of several flowers blooming together. Accessory fruits that develop from a flower is which parts of the flower or the ovary contribute. Okay, senang cakap, accessory fruit ni terbentuk daripada ovari bunga, dan dia melibatkan organ lain. Another organ dia akan berkembang dan setengah parts tu. First, ovary. Second, receptacle, pedicel, flower stalk, and sepal and petals. Bunga ni, petals, stigma, pedicel. Okay, ovary dia akan berkembang. Parts-parts yang berkembang ni lah yang terbentuknya satu buah. And the last one, simple fruit. Simple fruit are fruits that develop a single flower with a single ovary. Watermelon is an example of fresh simple fruits. About the seeds, have two types, dicot and monocot.